Next up, it's the women's 800-meter run. American record, Nicole Teeter from 2002. Hazel Clark, the Olympian, has the meet record. 8 young ladies have qualified to this final. And there's the list of the entire field. Let's focus in on the defending champion from Minnesota, sophomore Heather Dorniden, winning that title as a freshman. She'll start out of lane 3.
And she was Minnesota's woman from Minnesota in the Minnesota track team, the first woman to win an NCAA title. Katie Erdman had 2 very fine races, Dwight, yesterday. That qualifying time, she ran a great leg on Michigan's DMR.
And all the way up out in the outer lanes, Rebecca Noble, the sophomore from Oregon, who is the NCAA outdoor champion last year as a freshman.
And she was ranked number 5 in the United States in open and collegiate competition.
And on the outside, Katya Kostitskaya, the Texas State junior. She's, of course, with that last name, from Russia originally.
Mom, the number 1 ranked 800-meter runner in the world in 1982, was Kostitskaya's mother, Olga Dverna.
4 laps of this 200-meter oval. They will cut in after the first full turn. And having that lead is very, very helpful for those who like to run from the front. I beg your pardon. They're going to be taking it through the second full turn.
Right, while we have a second, All-American honors are conveyed on the top 8 Americans in every event in track and field contested here at the Indoor Championships. If there is a foreign athlete also among the top 8, they get All-American status as well. And if there's only 8 in a final, they will push down to the fastest athletes that didn't make a final to confer All-American title on at least 8 Americans.
Lisa Johnson of Cal Berkeley Jr., she has decided to take the lead. Rebecca Noble, also from the Pac-10 in Oregon, right there on her shoulder.
Kostitskaya is on the outside wearing bib number 270. I was going to say with a ponytail. Several women do have that, so that's not a differentiating characteristic. Johnson coming by in 1 minute and I should say 61.7 seconds is a better way to say that. In her heat, she came by in 59 and ran 2:05, one of the fastest times run yesterday.
And the athletes are swinging very wide on the turns and down the straightaway, so they're using a lot of extra distance. Johnson still continuing to lead over Kostitskaya. Noble well back, almost in the back of the pack, as is Katie Erdman. They're going to need to make a move of some kind if they're going to be in this thing.
Heather Dorniden hanging on right now for 3rd place.
Alicia Johnson of Cal Berkeley, followed closely by Katya Kostitskaya of Texas State. Dorniden, as you mentioned, trying to hang on. And from Cornell, that's Morgan Musini trying to make a race of it, but it's going to be Alicia Johnson. Looks like she's going to win this thing wire to wire. This is huge for Coach Tony Sandoval at Cal. Johnson running away with this thing. Led it from the beginning. Johnson's going to win it. Here comes Rebecca Noble from nowhere to get second. And Dorniden, the defending champion, getting 3rd. A very strangely run race, except by Alicia Johnson, who took it from the beginning and never gave it up.
Dwight, extremely hard way to win a race like this at this level. To kind of push the air aside where others can tuck in behind you, burns more energy. Very hard to do for this young lady. And she won wire to wire last night in her heat, and she did it again today. This is the fastest time run by a collegiate in the United States this year. 2 minutes 3.47 seconds for Johnson. Terrific stuff, and she's just a junior.
When we return, defending 400-meter champion Kanika Alexander from Iowa comes to the blocks. And later, Florida State's Ricardo Chambers will also try to make it 2 in a row. He ran the 4th fastest time in the world this year during the prelims.
The NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships, presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Time for a little sprinting here at the Randall Tyson Center. The women's 400-meter dash, Diane Dixon still the American record holder. Sonia Richards setting that meet record from Section 2. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here is the lineup for the Section 1 final. They have 8 athletes running in the final. They have it in 2 sections. And the slower 4 that qualify go into the first section. These are the fastest 4. Kanika Alexander, she is the defending champion and had a national record time for St. Vincent's and Grenadines yesterday in her heat. On her outside, though, Natasha Hastings of South Carolina.
And there's Hastings from A. Philip Randolph High School in New York City. She's from Brooklyn originally and a 3.8 grade average at South Carolina. She will occupy the outside lane, I think a favored lane. And you're looking there at Alexander, the young lady who was at the World Championships representing her country of St. Vincent and the Grenadines down in the Caribbean.
She mentioned that LSU came into this meet with the number 6, 7, and 8 seeds in the 400 and qualified none of them to the final. So a big opportunity to score points lost there. The 51.64 run yesterday by Natasha Hastings, the fastest time by an American this year.
And Alexander ran 51.62 seconds. And right up there, both of them among the top 6 or 7 women in the world. So let's see what they can do in tonight's final.
They'll run in their lanes through the first 2 turns and then cut to the pole. And getting that pole position with a lap to go, very important here. From the inside, Harris, Cox, Alexander, the defending champion, then Natasha Hastings on the outside in lane 6, and Hastings is out and gone.
Like a shot. I mean, she's got about a 2-3 step lead over the rest of the field at this point, and that is Shanna Cox trying to close down the woman wearing the white of Penn State.
And Cox, it appears as though she wants that pole. I'm not sure she's going to be able to take it from Hastings. She does. Shanna Cox gets the pole, erasing part of that advantage that Natasha Hastings had early. It's Cox, Hastings, and in the back there, Kanika Alexander struggling to stay in contact.
Smart move there made, I think, by Hastings taking the lead at that point. She could have been boxed in by Alexander, who's in second place right now. Look at this, the 2 best collegians in the country fighting it out.
Cox shot it all, taking the lead, but it's now Hastings continuing to lead over Alexander, and Natasha Hastings running a brilliant strategic race, 50.84. An outstanding effort. Let's see if the official time is corrected down. That's just 0.02 of a second off the meet record set by 50.80. That breaks the record set 3 years ago by Sonia Richards of Texas, who, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, was the #1 female track and field athlete in the year in 2006.
And that's in the world, too, Dwight. That's just tremendous performance by this young lady. Let's watch here. You see she's up on the outside right now, the preferred lane in my opinion, because you come downhill from that elevated angle at a nice speed, and she tucks in behind. She can't get the lead. A very strong second turn was run by Shanna Cox. Now watch her here. I think she had to worry about Alexander pulling up on her shoulder, boxing her in. But so she moved on the backstretch and got away quickly, and she never lost her rhythm that whole last 180 meters. What a great, great run by this young lady from South Carolina, running the #3 time in the world this year. She's the #2 performer in the world this year.
And she wins with 50.80, an NCAA meet record. Kanika Alexander does a nice job getting up for second and setting another national record for the St. Vincent's and Grenadines. Ashley Kidd of Georgia Tech gets third.